Hi everyone! I just wanted to make a quick video and teach you guys how to make some kombucha. A lot of my friends and family have been asking me about my kombucha recipe, so I just figured I'd make a quick tutorial on how I make my kombucha. Okay, so some things that you need are tea, of course. You need 5 bags of regular tea. You can use black or green tea. I use either one. Don't mix and match though, use either green or black. And do not use any type of flavored tea. I recommend pure organic green tea or pure organic black tea. So these are the kinds I use, either 5 packets of black tea or green tea. Okay, so that's what I do. And then your most important ingredient is going to be your SCOBY. SCOBY is an acronym for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of gross looking. It kind of looks like a mushroom, some people say, or like maybe a placenta. It's really slimy. With each batch that you make, it kind of forms another layer. If you can see here, this one kind of is forming another layer in this batch. So it's really important to take care of your SCOBY because they can die off. If you see any kind of mold or if it turns black, it probably needs to be thrown away. A healthy SCOBY is bubbly, brown, and happy. There's different pictures on the internet about different SCOBYs. If you're interested, you can look at those. But I have 3 batches brewing right now. Okay, so you have your tea, you have your SCOBY. You need a large glass container like this. This is about 1 gallon. Okay, so then you have your container. You need a cup of sugar. I recommend pure organic cane sugar. No processed sugar or anything like that. I get my sugar bulk from the co-op. It's pure organic cane sugar. So, and then you have your water here. I'm boiling about 1 gallon of water on the stove. Once that gets boiling, I'll put in my cup of sugar and I will dissolve that in. So I'll wait for it to boil and we'll get to the next step. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, I just wanted to take a minute and talk about the SCOBY. A lot of people really are kind of leery about the SCOBY. It's kind of gross looking. It's a bacteria growing thing. Gross, right? Well, there's lots to learn about SCOBYs, and I'm not going to go into depth in this video. You can do some research online. But to grow a SCOBY, really, it just takes time. The SCOBY feeds off the sugar. So actually the sugar that you put in the kombucha, the SCOBY eats that, and that's how it grows and grows that good bacteria and good probiotics in your kombucha. So to care for a SCOBY, really all you need to do is make sure that it has some reserve liquid. So like when I put these in my bottles, I will keep a little bit of reserve liquid in there to keep my SCOBY. You could, if you developed a lot of different SCOBYs, you could make what they call a SCOBY hotel, which is basically like a jar like this full of different SCOBYs with just some kombucha in it, and then it can just live and thrive in there and just grows and grows and grows. Different ways to take care of it. Basically you just let it sit on your counter and make sure that you have a little bit of reserve in there for it to thrive. You can also purchase SCOBYs online, I've seen. I actually got my first one from my mom, and then I just kind of grew some more from there. Like I said, they grow layers. Here's some other ones that I have. This is a smaller one. So you can kind of see it's bubbly, it's happy. Here's another one of my SCOBYs. This one has a couple of them in there. So, yeah. Like I said, it looks really nasty. You just got to make sure there isn't any mold growing on it. Which, if you have them covered in the liquid, you shouldn't have a problem. I haven't had a problem. This is really easy, simple to do. Alright, so it looks like my water's getting there. So I'm going to wait a few more minutes. I want it to get to a rolling boil. And then I'll add my sugar and dissolve that in. Okay, so my water is nice and boiling here. So I'm just going to add my sugar into it and just kind of let that dissolve. It takes just a couple seconds. Okay, so in goes my tea bags. I'm just going to add them to the pot like so, all 5 of them. And then I will turn off the heat and let them steep for about 10 minutes or so. It doesn't matter, I mean, as long as they steep a while. Actually, a lot of times I'll boil my water and throw my my tea in there before I go to bed, and then by morning it's completely cooled, because you cannot add hot water to your SCOBY. Do not fry the SCOBY. SCOBYs don't like hot tubs. So just make sure your water is completely cool when you add it to your SCOBY. Okay, I'm just going to finish putting these tea bags in real quick. Okay, so I have all the tea bags in my pot, and I have the heat turned off, and they're just going to chill in there, and they're going to make some tea. So yeah, I'll just like go to bed, and in the morning it'll be all dry, or all cooled. I'm tired. And then I'll add it to my SCOBY. So these are done fermenting for the first ferment. I do a first ferment and a second ferment. The second ferment is I dump this into my bottles, and then you can add fruit. I actually have a frozen bag of berries that I've been using up. So I just have these berries. I put just like 4 or 5 berries in each bottle, and then I dump my kombucha into here. A second ferment is the flavor ferment, and so you can put any type of flavor you want in there. There's all kinds of recipes on the internet about different flavors. You could do ginger, you could do strawberry. I mean, there's so many different ones you could do. Like I said, I'm just doing the berry. So this is a finished bottle. You can see the berries are in there. They've been sitting in there for a few days. The second ferment, I usually can only wait like 2 or 3 days, and then it's good and fermented. Nice and fizzy and bubbly and carbonated. So yummy. The longer you let them sit out on the counter, the faster they will ferment. So I'll let them sit on the counter in the first ferment, and then I'll let them sit on the counter with the second ferment. And then when it's at a good taste, I will put them in the fridge. And then the fermentation is slower in the fridge. So yeah, that's just a quick lowdown on how I make my kombucha. There's so much to learn, so I encourage you to go online and just educate yourself. Really, there is so much that I don't even know. There's so many recipes, hundreds and hundreds of them. This is just basic, how I got started, and it's just super good for you. Awesome probiotics. So I hope that helps, and I hope this starts your journey into kombucha brewing. Have a good one.